All right. So what you're about to listen to this morning is purely a reflection, all right, about what somebody said. And it's Charlie Kirk, the late Charlie Kirk. So in one of his responses, he said that in the next 10 years, that artificial intelligence will replace cheap immigration labor in the U.S. Take a listen to him.
Okay, so my biggest question with that is that if America is getting cheap labor and cheap oil from Nigeria and other countries, how are they going to replace that cheap oil and cheap labor that they're getting if they leave those countries?
We have a lot of oil here. I mean, we don't need.
But
Nigeria.
labor would not be cheap.
Yeah. So what you mean is like immigration labor, or
yeah. So like how do we replace the cheap labor? Because
well, so yeah, as far as labor, that window is closing. I mean, mass robotics and AI are going to close the labor gap in the next 10 years. The idea of needing cheap labor, that's going to be over in about 10 years. There's about a 10-year window on that. So,
okay.
And also, final point is I think the mass adoption of AI can make African countries very, very wealthy. Because if every single African youth has a smartphone with AI, they basically can have the same learning capacity of somebody in the Western world. It could theoretically, not that it will, close the learning gap between the third world and the first world. So, thank you. God bless you.
Many of you will have heard about him. Okay, so what this basically means is that his belief is that AI, artificial intelligence, is going to replace the cheap immigration labor that is predominant in the US. So we need to think about this, right? Many of the jobs immigrants usually take, and when shelter or immigrant man take, I had to mix this. I had to code mix this and also speak in a little bit of my native language, which is Yoruba, so that a lot of my audience will be able to follow up and understand what we are discussing. So we need to think about this. You know, so what he's trying to say is that many of the jobs immigrants usually take, maybe restaurants, care works, or farms, could be easily done by machines and software, which is right. My post is not. I mean, some people may think that my post is not practical because I'm not in the diaspora. I don't intend to speak as regards the job that our people take in the diaspora, but what is in it for us as Africans. I mean, when it comes to developing our own community, so that whatever fallouts that may come from deployment of artificial intelligence in regards to the jobs at the lower cadre, it doesn't really affect us negatively. A lot of advantages has been for our people going abroad, you know, in the sense that they are able to gather knowledge, gather experience, and deploy them, you know, circulate them for the development of African people. You see, the technological advancements in the diaspora, in the West, okay, it will take a while before we can bridge such divide. All right, so it's very good when we have people who are exposed to some of these technologies and they can be able to, you know, deploy them. So what does Charlie Kirk's statement, what does it mean for Africans in the diaspora? It means that you know, low wage jobs may shrink, and America might prefer immigrants with high tech or professional skills instead. So and that's why you see, I've seen many of our people both at home and abroad trying to embrace high tech and professional skills, because that is just what is going to make the difference. Okay, so US tàbí àwọn other Western economies kò mean pé bí àwọn ní need immigrant mọ́. No, it doesn't mean that the US won't need immigrants, but ó kàn lè jẹ́ pé àwọn specialized roles no máa need àwọn láti máa fill. Alright, so ẹni tó bá ní plan láti travel out náà, you know, in Nigeria or elsewhere in Africa may begin to look at the kind of skills that they need to gather. Okay, can they travel out believing that okay, I'll go and start all from the beginning. I'll go and start from the scratch. Nígbà tó yẹ pé àwọn iṣẹ́ táwọn èèyàn lè máa ṣe from the scratch yẹn gan AI ti fẹ́ gbà. So it would be nice the era tá wà yìí, this era of artificial intelligence might help in the sense that you can be in Africa and also have the same skills. And especially for our young people, the Nigerian curriculum needs to be thinking, and I'm glad they are thinking in that direction, so that we begin to have people who have skills who are scalable, so that even if they travel, they don't have to go and start from the lower rungs. Okay, so and our politicians could use this to push, of course, tougher immigration rules. If we also have what it takes, we also can begin to put in place some immigration rules that favors our own deployments. But the flip side is that Africans, especially Nigerians, already shine in tech, healthcare, and business. That is the truth. Technological advancement and copy. We try to copy a lot of technologies from the West, and already there's a difference. We can see that it's different, but this is the time to now upskill, learn AI tools and invest back home. Okay, instead of waiting for the US to close doors, we can build digital businesses. All right, you can create jobs in Africa and even earn globally through remote work. A lot of people are young by remote work gone in Nigeria. For now, some of these remote jobs were on the list the African countries, on the list our countries. It's not as if it's not as if Africans don't have these skills, but there are limited opportunity for jobs. All right, while you are residing in Africa. So, and that's one of the reasons why many people would like to travel out, so that they can be able to deploy their skills. But as it is, the AI era is likely going to breach that you may not really need to move as long as the skills are there. So yes, it's something that is concerning, but AI doesn't have to kill opportunity. It doesn't have to kill opportunity. It can push us to build stronger futures in both abroad and at home. All right. So Charlie Kirk's statement, while it is concerning, all right, but you can agree with me that the US might be already having a plan in that direction. Of course, you can see that their immigration policies are even getting tougher and tougher every day. So it will not be out of place to think that they might really be planning to replace cheap immigration labor. Okay, so but what we need to do is to plan and not panic. All right, as African countries, we need to plan and not panic. The AI wave is coming. Let's ride it and not be drowned in it. I'll leave it there. Okay, I just feel like I should drop this. If you like this, please share and follow me for some other random thoughts that I post here and there. Of course, most of my posts are not scripted. They just jump to me and I decide to drop it out. If you feel like this is something that is relatable to you, and you think that it makes sense, please share and follow me. I'll follow back. Ciao.